Right, okay. Well, good evening, everyone. And my name is James Arnson, and I'm in London. And today we are very, very pleased and extremely grateful to have two wonderful guests with us tonight, Peggy and Eddie Vermeer from Bruges in Belgium.
Yeah.
And we were just talking a moment ago about what an amazing place Bruges is. And I was saying I never saw any canals. And then I think we concluded that I actually hadn't really been to Bruges because I thought I had. So anyway, but anyway, it's such a pleasure to have you on. And thank you, everyone, also for joining us this evening. And this is being recorded. And the format that we're going to follow is we're going to, in a sense, do a bit of an interview scenario, because that seems to work very, very well. And then at the top of the hour, we're going to go into a short period of questions that would come in from those people that are on the call. And so you'll see a chat box down the bottom of the screen. And if you've got any questions that you would want to ask during the course of the half hour that we're speaking and the half hour that Peggy and Eddie are speaking, then if you put that down on the bottom, then I'll be able to see what questions are being asked and then ask those at the end. So that seems to work best. Otherwise, we get into a crazy scenario of everybody screaming around, and you know, it's not very productive. So, okay, so a very, very warm welcome to you both. And
Thank you. Thank you.
you know, obviously we know each other well, very well, but it's fascinating really to talk to each other in terms of a little bit more detail about what's actually going on in each other's businesses and what we're actually doing to make things move forward. But perhaps we could just go right back to the beginning now, and I don't know quite who to address this to as the question, but you know, perhaps you would decide which one of you would like to ask this, but tell us a little bit about your background, first of all, so that people get in context about what you're, you know, where you come from, so to speak.
Okay, maybe I can explain a few words about that. My background. First of all, I worked all my life, let's say, before this this opportunity knocked on my door. I worked I had two jobs to support my family, etc., etc. So I worked my ass off, but I was also realizing I knew there must be something else. There must be something more in life, you know, because I saw a lot of self-made millionaires passing by on magazines and TV, etc. So I knew it could be possible. So why not me, you know? So I worked hard because of hard working. I also was knocked down by an autoimmune disease, so which was of course terrible. So it was really we had a hard time, let's say. But at that moment, also my sponsor at that time explained me about the product, about the Juice Plus products. So I was really hesitating because it was like pills, you know, and pills is like, it was, for me, it was like no way. But he convinced me about just try it. So I tried this, the product, and I became, let's say, a raving fan because my health became better, better and better and better. So at that point, I started also as a distributor, which was a disaster in the. So you know the stories, you know.
Well, but tell us a little bit. So Peggy, tell us about your experience with Juice Plus as well. I mean, obviously you saw Eddie getting much better with the Juice Plus. Did you start on the Juice Plus at the same time, or
No.
delayed?
Before I had my own store. I had a fashion store.
Right.
And I worked 6 days a week, but every 6 months, let's say, I had to invest more or less 60,000 euros before I even could sell one piece, you know. So it was a big investment every time, every 6 months. And I only had a salary at that time about 1,300 euros. And I wasn't free. So for me, it was not the job I dreamed of. So, and then we started, I think now 3 years ago, we started more on social media, to work on social media, and we started to work together. And now last year, I think it was by the end of the year 2050, I stopped my store. So I stopped my job then.
Wow.
To start to work together more every day together.
Well, you're the reason.
I am more free now.
Successful. Yeah, no, that's great. And you're free. That's great. So tell us a little bit, Eddie, you began to talk a little bit about how it was a disaster when you started.
Yeah.
And I think some people will be really, in a sense, almost comforted to know that. And I know that may sound bizarre because people hear so many huge success stories straight away, you know, and think, oh yes, what's wrong with me? But everybody starts in a certain place and then we develop, don't we? So what happened for you at the early stages?
And first of all, so because I'm in the business for 20 years, as you know already, James, but first of all, you need to have a focus, a 100% focus. If a focus and a belief, and 100% belief, because otherwise you are going to lose.
Yeah.
For sure you will face dream stealers. For sure, people who say it never worked, it's a pyramid scheme, it's those pills are, you know, it's whatever. You will face dream stealers. If your belief is not 100%, you're gonna face it. You know, it's for sure. So if that's in my opinion the most important thing, the belief.
And tell me a little bit about your actual experience when you got started. What were you actually doing? How were you building the business? How were you promoting the products when you first started?
Okay. That's of course completely different than as it is today, as you know. But at that time, the only thing which is still important is when you start this business, when you start to grow in this business, the most important thing is make sure you're teachable, because that's what I did. When my sponsor at that is, I did it. When you need to, you know, bring 10 people to the meeting, I did it. I just did it. I just did what he told me. Okay, because I didn't know nothing about this business, nothing. I didn't know anything about network marketing, nothing. So for me, it was really a big question mark. So the only thing I could do was being teachable.
And what was your focus when you first started? What were you actually doing on a daily basis when you first started? I'm just seeking to draw the contrast between what you did then and what you did now. So what were you actually physically doing at the beginning?
Okay. So of course, like we all did at that time, was one-to-one, one-to-ones. Sometimes it was we talked about round table, so that was with a few more people around the table. Then there was somebody, a sponsor, an NMD or whatever, who was talking about the business, about the opportunity, about the possibilities. So that's what we all did. So later on, I became, for example, to give you an idea, I became a sales coordinator at that time in 7 weeks, and I didn't know shit about the business. You know, it was just I just followed the things my sponsor was telling me. Later on, James, we started to visit doctors and therapists. So I was actually diving into the studies. So because I knew this product, it didn't only help me with my health. I was sure it can help a lot of people out there. So the best way to bring the product to the customer was, in my opinion at that time, visiting doctors and therapists to explain what a wonderful product we had. So it brought me that time, it brought me to NMD at that time. But I need to say, I worked very, very, very hard. I did thousands of kilometers a year, a month even. So I visited a lot. I wasted is maybe a big word, but I spent a lot of time visiting doctors and therapists instead of spending my time with my family, you see. So, but anyway, I made it to NMD. And then, of course, it was, let's say we had a flat line, an MD flat line, you know, it was not going worse, it was not going better, it was like a stable business. But it's nothing compared with what's happening now, of course.
Yeah,
but that was more one-to-one, you know, even it was a doctor or a therapist, or it was a guy in the street or whatever, or in the bar, whatever, because I spent also a lot of time in the bar, which is a very good excuse, but anyway. So we did more one-to-one than now.
Yeah, so tell us now, though, what is happening. So, you know, in the last 3 years, we've had the bonus program. We've had a huge shift in the way we do the business in terms of social media. But some people will look and say, wow, you know, you guys have done you've done so well, but because you've adjusted so well to social media. So tell us what you did to make the shift, and what is your new focus? What has changed for you?
I believe the first thing what changed, so indeed we are working with the bonus program, but actually the first change was start working with social media, because we learned how to deal with it, we learned how to work with it, but of course we always have, like I said today before the call, also to Susanna today, it's always learning. Every single day we need to learn, and that's really important. It's not like we are going to start with social media and everything is going to happen for me. No way. Okay, so you need to invest in yourself. You need to learn about it, and of course after that, when you start working with social media, for example with Facebook. Of course, when you have the possibility, when you can create more customers, then becomes the Be Independent program, the bonus program, becomes more interesting because it's reachable, it's almost touchable.
Yes.
You see?
Yep.
So because if you don't have let's say a strategy, you only have the bonus program. It's there, but it's hard to take. So if you find your way, if you develop your skills, even it's online or offline, it doesn't matter. You need to develop your skills, your invest in your personal growth. So if you grow, the bonus program becomes.
Yeah. So I think I may have lost you, Jill, briefly. Oh, yeah. So what did you start doing on a daily basis with social media that really started getting results?
Yeah, it's more like showing your transformation also on social media. It's very important that that your page is really attractive, and you have to show your transformation, and people will be curious about that. We will never show on our pages the products. We will never show them that we are talking about Juice Plus, never. We only show our transformation, and this is what people find attractive and makes maybe people curious what we are doing, and they come and start to come to us in private. They send us private message.
What do you mean about your transformation? What do you mean in terms of the way people look, or their lifestyle, or what?
Lifestyle. It can be lifestyle if you are focused on how can I say, then you have to focus more on your lifestyle. This is one, but it's a mix of both. You have to show them your transformation, that you are living very healthy. You can show a shake, for example. This is not a problem. You can show always a shake, or what you are eating daily. You may, without showing them the product, really showing them how you live your lifestyle, and showing them that you are living healthy. This is very important, really. Yeah, it's your window to the world, let's say. Yeah. If your window is not very attractive, and if your window is all full of products, the people will, or they will run away, or they will come to you. So it's a little bit this that you have have on your profile.
It's about.
It's very important.
It's also about branding yourself in a good way.
Yeah.
Because some people, what we see, they are talking. That's also what I say. Be careful what you do online or offline, because people are watching. People are watching.
Yeah.
They are watching you, even you don't see it.
I'm very careful what I put on Facebook. Very careful.
Yeah. And do you post 9 times a day? I mean, some people know how many
Sorry,
times?
it's nice, but 9 times it's a little bit too much. You don't want them to run away either from you. But let's say if you can post daily something, maybe 2 or 3 times, it's enough. It's enough.
Yeah,
to show them what you are eating, or to say that you are going to the gym, or you're traveling, or you do nice things, that kind of stuff.
It's always about finding the balance, because what is attractive and what is overkill.
Yeah.
So it's really important you find the balance in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you specifically add people to your Facebook account every day from different groups? Do you build your audience, so to speak, of Facebook every day?
No. What? I don't understand your question.
Do you go into different interest groups? Do you become friends with different people in different
No.
Maybe there are people who does this, but
we did it also before
we did it.
But you attract the wrong people, because all kind of networkers, let's say, are in that kind of groups looking for people like us. They're looking for people who to get into their business.
Yeah.
You see, so it's like it's for us, it's not good.
No, so often people say, though, that we should be talking to new people online. So where do your new people come from that you're speaking to online? I mean, in terms of the new people in your audience as such that you're posting to.
I don't know if you're working with pro pages, because...
do you have fan page, James? Fan page?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the way we are attracting people also. This is how we try to make our audience bigger and bigger, and to invite, for example, in the beginning, what we are asking also to the distributors is to say, ask to your friends to share your page, for example, and it can go very fast and that way also. You understand what I mean? If you ask your friends, okay, please share my page, and it goes very fast also. This is also a way to attract people and to make your audience bigger and bigger. But we work for sure from fan pages. Yeah.
And it's also important. It's just in a line, of course. It's also important. Instead of please like my page or please share my page, you can also say something like please feel free to share my page. Mm-hmm. You see, it's the same, but it's totally different for the people on the other side.
Or for example, on your profile, your own profile, mine, for example, I can put a recipe coming from my fan page, let's say, and to share it. And it's always a way opposite, it's also very good to share posts of my pro page on my profile. Can you follow my?
Yes.
Okay. So this is also a very good tool to have more followers.
Always try to create traffic. That's the key.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really important. It's not like sitting and waiting until you have a like or a comment or whatever. No, you need to work yourself.
Yeah.
I work also, for example, on Instagram. It's not a big, how can I say, people will not come, how can I say?
In Netherlands?
No, it doesn't matter. But I show also on Instagram, because I have a few followers, like Lima also is also on the Instagram. So I show also my pro page on this Instagram profile. So it's a chain of everything. You can put your pro page on Instagram, you can put it on Twitter, you can put it in so many ways, and to attract people to your pro page, because everything happens on the pro page.
Yeah. How did you, Peggy, I mean, obviously you're both very proficient with this. How did you learn? Was it through trial and error? Did you do a lot of online courses?
No.
I didn't do any courses.
No. How did you just taught yourself, did you?
Yeah, it's only learn just every day something. Okay, this is working, this is not working, and never put products on your page. Never.
Right.
That doesn't work for us.
No.
We see in the UK it works. Okay, so because for you guys, in the other groups, in the UK groups, we see a lot of people putting products on their pages, and they're making a lot of customers. If we do that in Belgium and Holland, for example, we lose.
Yeah, they are Googling to Just Plus, and they will order on another maybe website, and you lost this person. So we are
that's also a reason why we don't put products on the name of the product on the pages.
Yeah.
Because if they start Googling, you lost them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
And people Google a lot.
Yeah, they do. No, that's right. So look, that's a very interesting, I mean, that's an extremely interesting conversation that we've just had about that. I think some people would like to ask now, you're getting going, you're getting new people going. How do you get a new person started today? So, for example, if someone is sitting down, maybe in your lounge, or maybe you're doing a Skype or a Zoom with them, how would you get a new person started today?
It's like I always say on every training, the customer is the key. The customer is your best potential distributor, really. So we are working with, I'm sure you also have a support group or not, James?
Yes, we do. Yep.
So what we are doing is make sure, because that's also a lot of work. Okay, so it's the leadership was taking care. It's not only one person, it's all persons, all the leaders putting their nose in the right direction, the same direction, and working together to make the group dynamic. Because you need to create, also there, you need to put a lot of energy in it. But it's all worth it, because when we are, in the first place, we are putting energy, posts, comments, whatever, and then afterwards you will see your customers will start making comment and posts, etc., etc. And that means your group becomes dynamic. It's going to live by itself. But first of all, and that's where a lot of it's because they are not putting enough energy in it in the first place. Because it takes at least 6 months to a year to make it really, really dynamic.
The support page.
Yes, the support group. Where you put your customers in.
Now, go on.
And so that's why when we notice when some customers are starting to put good comments, when they are reacting themselves, because we are not going after them right away, no way. Because that's also a big mistake what people do. They go right away after they make a customer, and then they hit with a bit. Okay, so we make sure we force them a little bit to react. So, and once they are going to react in the support group in a positive way, then we go after them. I see, wow, beautiful results, you're happy, you're excited, maybe, what if you?
And then you can propose the
So that's
business.
That's why we say the customer is the key. The customer is your golden dust.
I think we are sponsoring 95% of our customers.
All customers.
It's all customers.
Honestly, to be honest, James, when we actually don't sponsor anymore by one-to-one.
No.
Not single one. We sponsored 6 months ago, to give you an idea. We made a customer. She's from Holland, but she lives now in Curaçao. We never saw her. We never saw her. But she, you know, she was also satisfied. She started to make some comments.
She was a very positive.
In a very positive way. We contacted her in the right way about the business. She started a business. You see her on our page now because she went in 6 months of time. She went NMD.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's what a satisfied customer can do.
Yeah, and she's sponsored only from
Maaike Varena, she's a PMD. She became PMD last month. She's busy. She's in the business for 11 months. Yeah. She became a PMD because she's a satisfied customer. She's a raving fan.
Wow.
That's it.
No, I think that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, and it's so wonderful to hear that you're saying this, and so many other people are saying it. But it's so wonderful that it's so pure and clear on the customer, and I think that's amazing. But just talk us through a little bit about. Let's say you got her going, and this lady, I can't quite remember her name, the one who went PMD, and such an incredibly impressive. What's her name again?
Maaike.
So you had a first conversation with Maaike when you were talking to her about the business, and she said, "Yes, I want to get going." What process did you take her through to get her started?
It's Zoom calls, of course. We are working from the moment they start as a distributor. We are working with Zoom.
Yeah.
We are always working with. Before it was Skype. Now we work more with Zoom. But at the end of the day, it's all about building relationship. It's not only for the customer; it's also with the distributor, because that's what many people are doing. They are sponsoring a new distributor, and then it's like, go get them, Tiger. But that's not the way it works.
Yeah.
You need to be. It's just like with the customer, you build a relationship. It's the same as you build with your distributor. The same.
And what did you tell her to do when she got going? What was her first?
We teach them, of course, to work.
Let's say we have more like a checklist, and then we have step by step that they have to follow. The steps that we made to start a pro page, to have good value on this pro page. Her profile has to be very good, because this is the window to the world, of course, and so this is very important. So all these steps we have like more, let's say, a checklist, and then all these steps we are daily doing them by Zoom calls or chat. It depends, but we are behind them to follow them.
That's
daily.
Amazing. No, that's wonderful support. Yeah. So. Well, we're just coming up. Well, we're already at 9 o'clock, but I just want to ask you one thing, and we've had such a fascinating conversation. And by the way, everyone, if you've got any particular questions that you'd like to ask, now's the time to put this on the chat box. So if you've got any particular questions that you want to ask, this is an amazing opportunity to very, very wise, very successful people here. Would you put that in the chat box down the bottom? Okay, so I'd like to ask you now, really just to finish off, some people are going to say, well, what are your 5 top tips? What are your 5 top tips for success?
Well, if you don't do it right now, learn to work with social media. Try to learn with social media. And make sure you always act like a pro, even you just started, just look at other pages, of course, look at successful people, their pages, how they do it.
Even we are doing that. When somebody is successful in our team, we are going to look what they did that day, what they post that day, what they did on their profile, pro page, every step, and we are adjusting also our pages, because if they are successful, we are just have to follow them also, and you can do the same, follow us and do the same, because it's really so important for me. It's the tips that I would give to you. It's a good profile for sure. You have the profile is so important, and on your transformation for your personally, and transformation for your business maybe, and also your profile. You never put negativity. page, and always be very, very positive. People like when you are positive, and you attract people when you are positive. This is the kind of things that you have to show to the world, and this is inspiring people, and people will come before this kind of messages to you. Okay. So this is really the tips.
Wonderful. So the first tip is learn about social media.
Yeah, okay, learn about social media. I make a note of this. Learn about social media, only positivity, that's what already Peggy said. Create a team support group with the leadership, run by the leadership, that's what I mean. And make sure you work on one team, one mission vision.
Yeah.
Because there's no to each other, etc.
Can you repeat that? We lost you there. We lost you for the last sort of 5 or 6 seconds. Can you repeat that? You said one team, one mission.
Yes.
And
so like
we work together.
Okay, we working together. Make sure because there's no space for jealousy. There's no space for ego. There's no space for not being respectful. Respect each other. You know, that kind of stuff. Yep. The third is create a customer support group, which you already have, but also run by the leadership. It's not because everybody is working on it, but it has to be run by the leadership, because otherwise there's too many, issue, let's say. So, and make sure in the group you make a raving fan of every customer. That's your job. Then the fourth, you have to have some rules. What I mean with that is, it's not really rules. It's like agreements with each other in your own team. I mean, so it's like no fishing. We are not stealing from each other. No customer stealing. No distributor stealing. No gossips allowed. No medical claims. No ego. Like I said, always one team, one mission. If there's an issue, you talk about it with all the leaders together, because you need to. That's also what we do. We face it. We talk to each other
right away.
Because you need to keep emotion and business separated. That's really important.
You can only grow very fast when you work together, and we had that experience because we started only with 5 people. In the beginning, only 5, and now I think we have, I don't know how many distributors we have now in the group, but it's a lot. But we have to work together, and daily we are working on that, because it's very important. If you work together, then the train can go faster and faster and faster. In the beginning it's hard. I know it's hard. It was hard even for us. It was hard, but we kept going on and we kept working together, and every day we are talking to the leaders, and every day, yes, if there is something, okay, we talk right away together about it, so that is that everything goes smooth.
And my number 5 is make sure everything in your team is standing with the nose in the same direction. That's really, really, really important, because, and that's also what I say, you don't need to be afraid to cut when it's necessary, because like I said before, there's no space for jealousy or ego problems. If necessary, we cut, because sometimes you need to cut to grow again, right? Okay, that's really important. And the extra tip, if you all want an extra tip, of course, you want an extra tip?
Want an extra tip? What's tip number 6?
No, it's I'm kidding. But no, it's when you have succeed in those 5 tips, try to create a movement yourself. But then, in the first place, you need to succeed in those 5 first, because otherwise your movement will never move. Yeah, so it's really important. It's all about teamwork. It's all about one mission, one vision, etc. One team.
What is your team called? Or are you unstoppable, or are you?
Yes, of course, we are unstoppable. It's the unstoppable generation. It's international. It's you know, we are UG.
Right. So you don't have an individual team name yourself?
No,
we
no,
will
no,
never
no,
do
no,
neither.
no, no.
That's why we are so big, because we stay together,
Yeah.
and we are not making another group or
No.
another movement. This is not interesting,
And
because
that's what I'm saying. For people who are trying to make a movement in a movement, in my opinion, they have an ego problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's if you work all together, it doesn't matter. It's all about one movement.
yeah,
It's not about me. It's not about him. It's not about Peggy. It's not about.
no.
It's about us,
Mhm.
and that's really important.
We always talk about us, never about me.
Good, good. All right. Well, look, we've got quite a lot of questions that have come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just go to these. People are saying they're absolutely loving the call, and thank you so much. The best call I've ever heard. Nicola has just said that. So one question from Simone: how do you begin to acquire customers' teams in a different country? So I would imagine that you are beginning to build internationally. You're also beginning to build on a more far distant focus.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do that?
Well, it's simple. It's actually simple because, like, we are working on social media. So if it's also important. For example, my English is not that good, so I'm not going to build a fun page in English, for example. That's really important, because if some people to give you an idea, if some people in our team are doing that and they have bad English, they can harm the whole team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that would be not smart to do. That would be just simple, like you, for example, you want to start a Dutch group.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't speak the language. So you need to make sure you work with people who are talking 100% the language perfectly.
Mhm.
And then you can start a group, a support group over there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Actually, in a way of speaking, in your backyard, but a group is online, so it doesn't matter where you live, but because you can start up, for example, an English support group. You work online.
Okay. So let's say, I mean, what you've got people very far distant to you now that you're working with in terms of long way away.
Oh, we work with people in Mexico, in Curacao, in Australia, in France, or whatever.
Of course, we are lucky in Belgium. We speak 2 languages, so we are speaking Flemish. We are Flemish, and we have also French. So we are also already on the French market because of that, because we have French people in our team. But it can all start with one person. If one person speaks very good French or German or whatever, or Spanish, they can start in Spain, and then sometimes it goes very fast.
Yes.
I don't have an explanation for this, because now in Curacao, this girl was a Dutch girl. She lives in Curacao, but she's on the market in the America also. So you never know how fast it can go and which direction it will go.
Then we come back to the customer, because the customer, if you work with, if you're really focused on your customer, you will find your international people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's too difficult. It's too difficult to try to find some people, because if you do that in that way, it looks like you're actually the hunter.
it will happen anyway. It happened to us because we were not searching for people in France, but they started in Belgium, and it can happen to everybody that you will sponsor somebody from Belgium. Even you will sponsor people from Belgium. Why not? It's possible. It's really possible.
Okay, no, that's lovely. So let's just ask some other questions. Yeah, so someone asks, I mean, this comes up an awful lot, but I mean, what would you say when people say, Suzanne Mosh says, a lot of people start to talk about how much money it is. I'm presuming how expensive it is. How do you approach these people who say that the product is too expensive?
The product is too expensive.
Yeah, well, this is just one person's question. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
Okay. We no. Just to get it right. No, we had also that problem, but the most important thing is the problem was between our ears. Because let me explain you. So when we started, for example. With a complete, let's say, just a package of complete, it was about almost 3 years ago. It was a cost of, I think it's something 145 or 150, something like that in euros. Then they raised the price to 181.25 euros. We thought, oh my God, this is going. This now we are going to die, because this is a huge raise. In price. So instead of that, we try to sell it in the team. I mean, not the product. I mean, how to explain the product. When you see it in a daily base, in a daily use, it's cheap. It's really cheap. Now, instead of only selling the complete, for example. We have upgrades, also with the premium, even the booster, sometimes even with the bars. So it's all when people are thinking, when you are thinking it's expensive, it will be expensive, because that's what I don't know how it works. But they feel it. They feel it in your conversation, for sure.
You have to make it like it's not expensive.
It's really cheap.
And if you explain it right, if you say really how much it costs daily, then it's really cheap, and it is also. So if you explain very well to the customer or the potential customer, they will understand. And of course, we have also the cases that sometimes they say, no, for me it's too expensive. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it happens, of course.
Of course, it will always.
If you explain it very good that it's not that expensive, or that it's not expensive at all, because if you see it in a daily basis, it's cheap.
But to give you an idea, James, we are selling for 75 of the PCPs we make. It's always at least double.
Yeah.
The capsules and the shakes or the boosters, etc. At least 75%.
Okay.
So it's
between our ears.
It's between your ear.
But in the beginning we were afraid also. I have to be honest. And we were also, it will be too much for them, or the people will not understand, or but
you need to change your mindset about that.
You have to change that. And when you do that, the people will feel the same and will feel it. If you are really convinced that you have a good product, and then they will understand that it's price is correct, and it's not expensive at all.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for that. So let's just finish off now. People are raving about the call; they just absolutely love it. We're wrapping up now, very rapidly now. How do you see the next 5 years, and what are you most excited about as we look beyond this into the longer-term future?
Wow. When I look back, it's amazing what's happening, okay? So let's be honest. It's really amazing what's happening.
Every month we are in shock.
We are in shock.
Because it's growing so fast, and we didn't expect that at all.
I've never been excited today than I was before, never. So I really believe our company, by the way, can be the absolutely #1 within a few years.
Yeah.
I believe that.
We can do that. Nice products coming also our way. So new products. Sorry.
I also believe we will create new millionaires in this business, for sure. And it will not. I'm not talking about 10 years. No, I'm talking about a few years.
And it can happen to everybody of you. Everybody can reach this. It's really easy. If you do it in the right way, it's really easy.
I believe the best is yet to come, James.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, fantastic. I can't think of a better way to finish the call. I mean, you have both been absolutely outstanding. And, I'm looking at the call list and I'm thinking, oh my God, why weren't more people on the call? Now, obviously, we are going to record this, but I mean, we have recorded it, but it's so powerful being here on the call right here and now. And I have to say, it's a very, very outstanding call, this. So I think everybody would join me in saying thank you very, very much indeed for your time.
With pleasure, James.
You're
With
welcome.
pleasure, my friend.
What you've shared with us this evening. And
Oh, you're
I'll get that over to you very shortly as a recording on YouTube. And then obviously you can look at it again.
Okay, super. Yeah, super. Yeah.
So much. You look great, by the way, both of you. Like sort of, you've got very strong light
We
on
are
you.
glowing.
Yeah, you're glowing. You're glowing. So, no, thank you very much indeed. So look forward to seeing you soon. But we
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate you sharing tonight.
We loved it. We are very honored also to be invited.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much indeed. Okay, good night, and we'll see you very soon. Take
Okay.
care. Bye.
Ciao, guys. Be unstoppable anyway. Bye.
Thank you.